Hey everyone, Maury Curtis Dunbar here with Painted Studios, and we're back for our second live today. Now, earlier today, you saw me use our new Heat fusible vinyl through our Cricut cutter to create this cutout, which will, once we print it, read like that, which means it's going to read correctly for you and wrong for me because I had forgotten to mirror it. But we're going to apply it to this. Somebody's texting me and I can't answer right now. So we're going to apply it to this bag. Why are we using this little canvas bag? Because it's what I had. I forgot to put a t-shirt in my car, which had been my goal, but that's okay because now I'd be foiling it on the t-shirt in reverse. So I'm gonna just quickly put that in our press right now because it's been in the back of my car getting dirty and hot and wrinkly. So I'm just giving it a quick press, and I get these, we all get these from time to time. This is a shop small bag. So I'm gonna flip this down. We're gonna talk about what we're doing. All right. So here's my shop small bag, and here is my vinyl adhesive. It's still sticky on this side, which is great because that's what you need it for on top of your fabric. It has to adhere. Now, excuse me, we're gonna put this on our trouser press that we have over next to me. We're going to put it on nylon setting, because otherwise you can overheat and melt this right to your iron. The plastic, not just the glue. So now let's flip this over here. We're going to put this in, and the directions for it generally say 2 to 3 seconds. I'm finding maybe it needs a little more. Oh, where did I put my board? Also, it likes pressure just like the vinyl does, the foil does. So one of these standard trouser presses doesn't provide enough pressure because you can't adjust it, unlike a t-shirt hot press or like an iron that you can just lean on. So this one, let me make sure I've got everything on here so that they all gets transferred. Gives me a little pressure when this locks down. Now the other thing to note is as this transfers, as this melts and fuses to this fabric, this goes from white to clear. So you're gonna put this down. Oh, there's a little piece of something gummy on there, and I'm not gonna be happy if it sticks to the iron. And let me tell you, I've had a lot of stuff stick to this thing. All right, so we're gonna put it down, and this locks, and it starts beeping at about 8 seconds. So we're gonna see where we go with it. We'll see how we do. I'm gonna check it. And it's pretty clear, but it could use just a little longer. And the board under here, this locks. So that board under there, it's like putting stuff in a panini press. The more I can layer in here, the tighter the pressure comes down. So that piece of cardboard just adds a little extra pressure. Okay, so that's really nice. Now you can't see it. I can see it a little bit here. Let me see if it's gonna transfer. Now, needs a little more pressure right there. And that's okay, because we're doing it in such short bursts that there's no chance for the plastic to become melted and fused to the bag. So let's see where we're at. Now, if I don't find that this is fusing well enough, oh no, it's coming back. Now I'm gonna peel it back slowly. I do think it needs a little more heat release there because it's wanting to pull up a little. I think maybe I'm just gonna turn this because I can see some of this is gonna be light too. And this is what takes time. So if I was doing this with a regular iron, I'd probably be pushing on it for a good 15, 20 seconds. I don't have an iron to move around like that. I'm using a presser, so I'm just shifting it to make sure I get all of the vinyl transferred. Now this is hot. And it's still not wanting to do this because I'm not getting you can see whether it's transferred or not. And I'm not really happy with the way this is transferring for me today. Now it may be a little cranky because I've got an extra seam here and I've got this going here. A regular iron might be a better choice for this. I'm gonna find out. You're learning with me, everybody. I am doing this with you the same time I'm learning this myself. So it can take a little time, nothing new. And I might move the heat up one to silk, because that might just do a little better. Every iron is different, so you need to check your temperatures. I'm thinking my nylon in here might just be a little too low. I might do better with a little higher heat. Okay, let's see how we do. Oh, that's working. And you'll know if your stuff is transferring, because it will either roll back or not. And I just don't like the way this is going right now. I'm not real happy with how I'm getting this on. And I guarantee you, it is me and it is the way I'm applying it. I think, let's try folding the board over. Because again, if I'm not getting any pressure, that's part of the problem. All right, let's try that one more time. If I'm not happy with how it transfers, I keep working this until I figure it out. Now, I'm not going to get any transfer right here. I have to shift it. This needs to go down in a little further. Let's get that there. And eventually this will release. I will get good at this, but this is my absolute first time doing this. So I want you to experience the struggles that I do and watch the corrections to see what is needed. I know some people will not come on if they have any issues with how they're applying it. I'm going to show you where the good and the bad goes. Oh, this is much better. So I really did need to repress it, do a little adjusting on temperature, because now it's peeling back really nicely. So on my cutter, it needed silk. There you go. Or on my presser, it needed silk setting. Good to know. I just learned something. And because I fought with this a little bit right up here, this is where that seam was, so a regular iron might have been better. It left a little adhesive behind. All right, we're gonna pick a foil. I need something, let's do something loud, because this is what's right here. So let's go with this. I want something that's gonna show up over all of this other printing. All right, so now I've put a foil there, and we're gonna put this back in here. And again, foil I know wants pressure, so I'm not doing anything bad by having a doubled up cardboard there for it. I will probably have to shift this to get all the area. And it says we should have it about 30 seconds. So once this starts beeping, that's about 8, and then we're gonna count to 30. Okay, now I should be seeing this sticking. I'm not pulling this back. It must cool completely before I pull the adhesive off. So it will be cool enough for me to pull it by the end of this live, but I still got to get in here and get the upper half of the bag that I missed. So I'm going to get the handles out of the way, and then I'm going to come back in. This bag is going to be the most pressed bag I've ever had in my life, because I never iron a tote bag. It's been sitting in my car, got mud on it, so if I can make this look good, you know we can make anything look good. $29, 30. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to set it aside and let it cool while we're working on other things. I'm going to turn this iron off so that I don't roast. Because, yeah, it's only 95 out. I don't need to make it hotter in here. All right, so that's while the piece that we're working on cools, we're going to do a couple other things, and then I'll pull that foil off, and you can see how amazing the new reusable transfer foil is. Now this is garbage, it's still sticky. That goes bye-bye with all the extra adhesive that I peeled off earlier. So we're gonna see how well that transfers, but we gotta let it cool. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on these. Now, you saw me do this earlier, the other day, and you saw me start jeweling the lid, and I have a time-lapse video of actually doing all the jeweling. I'm not gonna make anybody sit here because it took a while. Nobody wants to sit here and watch me do that. It's not that exciting. Oh, okay. So the next thing we're gonna use, I love this foil, our kaleidoscope foil. We're gonna make a trinket jar with a kaleidoscope foil. And if you might notice, I have the fan on behind me, so things are kind of blowing around, but if I don't sit in front of a fan, I'm gonna pass out. I already had to turn the AC down because of the, you know, the iron. I don't need to make it so that I blow all the breakers. I've done that before in a live too. Old buildings, you can blow breakers. All right, so I'm putting this down here. Let's flip this down. Okay, so I've got my hologram foil out, and I'm going to roll. I'm carefully setting this down, and I'm just gonna roll the little tin in it. So that way I get the nice rainbow striping all the way around. And then I'm gonna push it up in here where I applied the foil adhesives up around the edge. I'm just going in with my fingers. I don't remember, did I put adhesive on the bottom? Yes, I did. Well, I'm gonna actually not try to do the adhesive by folding it over because that makes such a mess with the striping. Well, I just changed my mind on that because I accidentally rubbed it down. Oh well, I guess we're gonna have a crinkle bottom. All right, let me grab my scrubber. And again, I am scrubbing in the direction that I brushed the foil because that'll help get into the crevices from brushing. And these things are tooled as well. They're put on a machine and polished, so you'd see striations going around it. And so this makes the most sense to go that way. Came out pretty well. In a couple spots I want to do a little more scrubbing. I'll take my toothbrush just to make sure. You know, when you're working in a very definite pattern, you might have to take a little more time to pull it together. So this is it. I mean, this is cute. I still have to finish the bottom, so, you know, here we go. There's that. So now the bottom is completed. I want to take a look around to see if I need to, like I might want to go back in here where that pink is. So I'm going to take my pink and the orange and line it up a little bit. And it's pretty forgiving, so all I'm really wanting to do is just go in and I don't want to scrub hard. I don't want to do anything to dull the pattern. Okay, so I got a little bit right in there that needs some scrubbing. Where's my yellow and blue? Sometimes just the big brush is simpler. And there we go on that, I think. I might want it to just come up around here on the lip because I'm not happy with the way I folded this into the lip. I don't think it was the best look. So I'm going to just do it carefully this way. It's so nice to have you all here with me as I work today. You know, the one thing with all the lockdown is that I don't talk to people so much during the day like I used to. And honestly, I think it's making me a little nutty. You all tell me, you listen to me on my videos, so if I start sounding a little cuckoo, you're gonna have to tell me. Okay. There we go. We just got the top of that. Now, I had a little bald spot right there. So I could either put more foil adhesive or I could do something else with it. Right now, I'm not worried about it. We're gonna see. Now this is how this jar is gonna go together. So obviously I have the lid that I need to foil. And I think I'm gonna do it with mostly pinks on there. I'm gonna take the lid and do this, but again, I'm gonna go around the edges in the striping pattern, so I think I need to turn it, there we go. I don't wanna, this will never, I'm not working to make it match up or anything, although it might be nice if I tried to get the pink on the pink. When this screws together, I don't know if it'll line up. Not worrying about that. That's not my priority right now. My priority is to get foil over the foil adhesive. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Not sure if this is going to be my favorite one, but who knows, by the time I finish, it might well be. I'm just feeling around here to see if I missed any spots, and you know, I always miss a little spot here and there. Okay, so we got it all. So if I were just to leave it like this, this is how it would look, but I'm not gonna do that. Hi, Veray, how are you? Oh, these jars, $5. They are called soup cups. You get them at Target. So I walked through there to pick up laundry soap the other day, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, they have these little things. Now, personally, I think that's a chintzy serving of soup, but they will make great trinket jars for, you know what? You could put ice cream in here in the summer, because these things keep things cold. So if you could put some ice cream and put a lid on it and throw it in a cooler, you probably have some good cold ice cream, because I know these things, they will keep things cold for about 24 hours, and melting on ice is very slow with them, so the colder in here, the better. All right, so I'm gonna take my jewelry and bead glue from E6000. It is supposedly not the same as the regular E6000. This is gonna be the bigger test, because these crystals that I did on here and on here, they're different than the ones I've used for so many projects. So they didn't have what I had a problem with these. I used these on many jobs, and the E6000, which is a great glue, then made the backs on these pucker up. So this is gonna be a test. I know full well that these could pucker with the glue. I have other gem glues that I haven't tried because I like E6000 so much, but we're gonna find out. Now, I clogged up one of these little tubes and I don't remember. Oh gosh, there's a million little nozzles floating around here. There we go. So I might have to change my nozzle on here. Let's make sure the glue's coming out. Yep, there it is. Let's see, now this is not easy to feed through this tube. It's thick, but I'm gonna do a little ring. And I'm gonna do this like I did the last one, which was, I started with the ring on the outside, because I didn't know how I wanted to build it. This thing is called a dabber. And what I didn't realize is when I ordered these other gems that I had used on the other ones, they come with what I thought was a white grease pencil, and it's actually the same thing as this. It's a sticker stick, and or a dabber, and you can sharpen it so you always have a point on it. Now, of course, I've pushed all of those to the side. And if you'll notice, I haven't done this cup yet. I have gorgeous rose gold gems coming in that I'm waiting on, which are the ones I had planned for that. So this one we're doing with the cheapest flat back crystals that I was buying by the thousands before to do on walls. If any of you had seen Chicago Lash Lounge when I did it a couple years back, I used 10,000 of these on her walls and her front desk. So yeah, I got really familiar with these. Now the glue is causing a little crinkling, and I'll try to zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about, but not to the level of the E6000 when I've used the regular. This is supposed to be a gem glue, so I'm hoping that it's a little less destructive to the backing, because this backing here, the silver, let me pull these up. When you look at these, I'm sure you've all looked at these, this backing can be sensitive to your adhesive. Not that it will unglue, but what will happen is it'll crinkle, like almost like it got hot. So, looking at this now, up in here, you can see, let me see if I can get this to focus on here. Sorry, I knocked the phone and it knocked me out of my live for a second. So what I was saying is that if you look carefully, and it's a little hard to see because the focus doesn't want to focus there, it wants to focus a little further away. This is a little crazed as opposed to the clarity of the stuff we just put down. So there will be a little bit of that, but it's not bad. All right, so let's go back down to what we were doing, and I'm just going to show you. You don't have to sit here and watch me do this forever. I'm just going to do one round on these. Now you also have to be aware, E6000 regular or gem tack likes to dry quickly, which is why it's so great for this. On the other hand though, if you get distracted and walk away from your glue, or do like what I just did, which was go off on a tangent, your glue will start to set up. So, but with what we're doing, I'm hoping that won't matter. We're going to test some. This whole day is a lot of tests on things. So let's just go back around here. So what I'm going to say is that the fresher and the wetter the glue is as well, the more likely that kind of crazing is going to be to happen. I don't think I actually spoke English on that, but I'm sure you all got what I mean. Hey everybody, thank you again. Gosh, it's so nice to see everybody here. God, I appreciate when you spend your time with me. David, good to see you. These are coming out so cute, and somebody said they were cute. Unfortunately, the camera's at an angle now. I can't see the comment. But whoever said that, thank you. These are going to be just darling. So your biggest investment in all of this is, as always, your time. So if you're making stuff like this and selling it, you have to figure in the value of your time. Because just because it costs, $5, $6, $7 in materials doesn't mean that your retail price should be very low. You're putting a lot of time and work into this, and you should get paid for your time as well. Okay. I'm gonna get the last of this round on, then we're going to pull up that bag and see if it's cool enough to pull the foil off of. This is why I'm always working on more than one project at a time, because something's always drying or cooling off, or something along those lines, and I better be busy with something else too. Now if I happen to have a gem, if this doesn't quite line up tight, I shift them around and respace. So this is the idea, and we're gonna keep going and filling this all in. Now, give me a sec, I'm gonna go pull out the bag, move my gems out of the way and make sure there's nothing sticky so that when I stick my bag down, it doesn't get glued to the surface. All right, this is nice and cool. This should peel back. We're gonna see how I did. This is an experiment, folks. You're gonna learn as I'm learning. Oh yeah. Oh wow, this is good. This is good. Okay, so like I said, there would be a couple breaks and flaws because I'm working on an old bag and I was adjusting, so I had a little break here and here, and I had my little breaks here. Now, if I needed to go fill this in, this is where I'd take my gel, my deco foil gel, and just take a little paintbrush, paint it in, clean up that line. I could have probably left this under the heat just a little longer. That would have been my go-to decision. But I mean, seriously, that's a really good release, even for my first shot at this. And I learned a lot from it. All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you for sticking with me with this. I'll be back again later. We're going to finish jeweling these, and I'm going to do that on a time-lapse video so you all don't have to sit here and watch me do that for hours. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do a very quick live putting epoxy on these things. We're going to test. Now, I have put epoxy over flat back gems before, and it's melted some of them, and it's been fine. We're going to use different epoxies than I worked with before, and they're gentler and they're child safe, so I'm hoping they won't melt my crystals, but we're gonna find out. And we may even test the two different epoxies that I carry to see which one I like better for this job. Never know, gonna check it out. All right, everybody, use your little arrow button, share the love, sprinkle, 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 because we are going to be doing some giveaways and contests this month, starting on Friday. I'm not telling you what it is, but we're gonna start it on Friday. And they all depend on you sprinkling. All right, everybody, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Thanks.